Hi, everybody. My name is Carrie Mubarak. I am at wooingnature.life. This is your new moon view for February 4th, 2019. I am talking to my water signs, all my Frog Clan people. What's going on, Frog Clan? Water signs are Cancer and Pisces and Scorpio. So if you are a sun sign Cancer, sun sign Pisces, sun sign Scorpio, I am talking to you. You all are a part of the Frog Clan. So this is the new moon. I'll give you a little bit of an update about what's going on with the new moon. If you want to know a little bit more, you can look at the general new moon view for February 14th, 2019. It'll give you a lot more detail astrologically what's happening with the moon, but I will let you know it is in Aquarius. So while the moon is in Aquarius, we are dealing with our emotional freedom. We are trying to reach for emotional freedom, and we want to also feel free to express ourselves emotionally in any way that we can. So right now I'll just jump right in. This is a medicine wheel reading that I'm giving today. It takes a look at what's going on with you in general, and then it looks at all your four corners. So it looks at you from the north, the south, the east, and the west, and I'll explain that a little bit more as I go along. So I'm just going to shuffle a little bit and start pulling. And then I'm also going to add some other cards toward the end. So we'll do the medicine wheel first, and then we'll go right into some of the other advice for this period coming up. So Frog Clan, we've got strength. In the south, where we have lessons and growth, we have the Ace of Cups. In the west, where we go within and recuperate, rejuvenate, and all of that, we have the Sage of Pentacles. And in your spiritual position, you have the Ace of Pentacles. And moving forward, looking at what's new, we've got the Three of Swords. All right. So water signs are call. It's a call for strength. Water signs right now, there's a call for strength. Inner strength is needed at this time. Inner strength is needed at this time. The lessons that you're learning right now have to do with love. It also has to do with your intuition, and it also has to do with your instincts. Anything that's water related has to do with feelings and emotions, and feelings are what allows us to sense things that are happening in our environment, in our home, or in the universe. Sometimes, people are very sensitive. They can sense things that are happening outside of themselves as well as inside. And again, because this new moon is in Aquarius, it's asking and calling for emotional freedom. So the lessons that you're learning right now, water signs, is about the emotions. It's definitely tied to you. So you'll be feeling this energy of this new moon a little bit more probably than maybe some of your other counterparts, which makes sense because you're water sign. So you're going to be a little bit more sensitive to that. So in looking within, this is the place where we go in to kind of look at our past, look at our experiences, and then make an assessment and use that information for moving forward. It's like your own personal wisdom space. So there you have the Sage of Pentacles there. So that means you're pretty clear about what's going on with your physical world. And by physical world and earthbound world, sometimes I use those words interchangeably. Your earthbound stuff, to be blunt with you, anything that's considered pentacles or considered earthly related are the things that when you check out of here, when you die, and when you close your eyes on this world, those are all the things that you're going to leave here. So your house, your car, your family members could be, you'll leave behind. You're going to leave behind your body, your physical body, so your health, anything like that is considered to be pinnacle, the area of the pinnacle. Sage of Pentacles says that you have progressed and that you have gained a considerable amount of knowledge around those things. It could be health related, it could be money related, it could be job related. In other words, the experiences that you have had that you can reflect on are those things that have gotten you to this point so far. It's why you have the strength that you already have. It's probably why more strength is called upon at this time that you're learning this lesson about love and about how to follow your intuition. So if you're struggling with that, if there's something of an emotional nature that you feel kind of out of sorts with, do know that this new moon period and this energy with Aquarius is allowing you to be able to express that more freely. So don't feel like you have to hold back. And also don't feel like you have to hold back about things that you don't know. Like sometimes we as adults especially, we get really, really sensitive about letting people know what we're unclear about. If you're having if you're struggling in any way, or if you're finding that you feel a little weaker than you normally do in relationship to that, it's okay to let people know that that's where you are, because sometimes that's where you'll get some of your best advice. So in your spiritual nature, in your spiritual connecting place where you go to find wisdom beyond you. So this is sort of like panning out on your situation and looking at it from a spiritual perspective. Again, we've got the Ace of Pentacles again. So it seems like to me that there's some practical things that are involved here. Yes, the lesson is an emotional one, but it seems here with the Sage of Pentacles, it's asking for you to call on that which you have already learned about life and about how these things usually pan out. It's asking you to be very practical right now. So I'm getting a lot of practicality, even though the lesson that you're learning is something related to love. It's like break it down to some real practical things. Here's the real deal. This is how I've got to live. And if I can't live with you and this stuff, then I can't do it. And that's it. If it doesn't follow this order that makes me be able to live a little more comfortably and freely, and I don't feel like I'm, having to stretch myself too thin, or I don't feel like I'm compromising my health to deal with it, then that's the route that you want to go. And that may take some strength, especially for water signs, because water sign people have a tendency to really follow their heart. Right now, it's like follow your pocketbook, or if your body tells you, if you're in a situation and it gets emotional and all of a sudden you get a pain here, a pain there, watch that and pay attention to it, because those are where your signs are coming from. So looking forward and looking at the next steps, which is in the East position, we've got Three of Swords here. So it's looking at some things that may be difficult for you to look at, but you need to do it. You need to just go ahead and do it. This is the emotional lesson that's going on. This is why the strength is being called for. This is why they're telling you to look at practical matters and be wise. Be wise. Be wise. That's the sage there, not the fool. Be wise. Pay attention to these kinds of things. The one thing that is interesting about who we are energetically, we're not just one-sided. There's all of these energy bodies that we're working with. You have your physical or your corporeal body structure, which is like, oh, my hand is hurting, or my back, or my throat, or I don't know, I have high blood pressure, whatever. I'm talking about health issues. We're talking about your body structure, but then you are also an emotional being. You have an emotional body system, you have a mental body system, and then you have a spiritual body system. So it's really interesting to me sometimes what can balance that out, what the spirits are asking of you to balance those things out. And what I'm getting very clearly for my water signs is that, yes, where the strength is called for is something of an emotional nature that you're having to learn from, but the best way to handle it is to remain practical and pragmatic. Keep it on the ground, keep it grounded, and don't let yourself get too far out in the cosmos. But I am going to say, definitely express how you feel. Don't feel like you have to shirk on that, because now is not the time. It's a moon in Aquarius time. So it's time to talk and speak up and say how you feel and not feel any way about it. All right, so we're going to look at an inner power card for you. You need some inner strength. You've been asked to exercise some strength. So let's see where your power is coming from. Water sign, see where your power's coming from. The power is coming from your ability to love. The power is coming from your ability to love, and not just love freely, but to love consciously, to love in a way that respects you and respects the other person. It's mature love. It's mature love. That's really where your power is going to come from. And I think that these practical things, this advice about being practical goes along with that. Because sometimes when we're young and in love, that's one thing, but when you're older and wiser, when you've been through a few things and you've been there, done that a little bit, and you've had some experiences, you can come at the situation with much more clarity and much more vision, and make some decisions that really are that not only feed your mind, but also feed your heart, or that fuel your heart, but that also are not just focused on the emotion at all, alone. That's what I mean. All right, so I'm gonna get a message from the Star Nations. Star Nations, thank you. Star Nations say don't be afraid to share the load. This is the Six of Pentacles. This is about sharing the load. Everybody has something to give in this situation. So whenever you need help, if you need to reach out, water signs, please don't hesitate to do that. There are people out there that are there to help you, to support you through this process. Everybody's not there to beat up on you. Somebody's there to help bring balance to the situation, and it looks like they're could be coming from somewhere totally different. But just be patient. Just be patient. Remain true to yourself, and that will invite the energy that you need. All right, your message from Mother Earth is stop worrying, stop concerning yourself. They don't want you. She wants you to get your rest, and she doesn't want you to worry and be concerned. That's what the Mother Earth is saying. She's there to nurture you, and her nurturing is saying to take these things off your mind. What I'm getting really clear is that you know you have this. I'm getting it here and here. Water signs, sage here, sage here. You know the practical. You also are smart emotionally. You have this. You know what it is that you need to do. You're just struggling with it a little bit because it is causing you to go to some deeper places, or it may just be kind of pulling on your emotional strings because you're already a water sign. But what she's saying is just like, try to let some of this stuff go. Try to take a break from that. I highly recommend meditation during this period for you, water signs. Highly recommend meditation for you, especially if you're not sleeping well or something like that. And then this last message is going to come from Grandmother Moon. Grandmother Moon. Thank you, Grandmother Moon. So Grandmother Moon says that your joys and the fruit of your harvest, it is coming. You will soon be able to see the fruits of your labor. This is harvest. This is all about harvest time. Seeds that were planted a long time ago that are now coming into harvest, are now coming into play. So deal with the tough stuff. Take a good hard look in the mirror during this period of time. You know how to do that better than probably anybody else. Those things that were hurtful, that are hurtful and difficult, hard for you to manage, leave them on the table, or otherwise get some help with that. Try to take some of this stuff off your mind. Rely on your own knowledge and your own experience. You have it. Know that the power rests in your ability to love and love more freely. So whatever this situation is that's calling you to have a little more strength as far as an emotional situation is concerned, know that you have all of the tools that you need inside of you, and that your grandmother is bringing in your harvest. So I'm really glad that you're with us, water signs. I said the last time that water signs are really helping the rest of us understand our emotional nature because we're moving into a time where we have to be more in touch with our intuition and using our instincts now more than ever. So you guys are bearing a lot. Make sure you do that unpacking. Make sure you release that old stuff, the things that are causing your heart to break or that's causing things to be really difficult for you. Go ahead and let those go. Deal with it from a practical standpoint and just keep moving forward. So, as always, I appreciate you being around. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad to be able to share with you some new insight for the new moon. Stay close, stay focused, and I will see you in March again for the big winds moon and for the next new moon as well. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you have a fabulous, wonderful life.